the Andy Griffith Show, Facts and Trivia. Appreciate you being here. Before we get started, a little something for those comments who tell me how dull and boring I am. Let's try it this way. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Andy Griffith Show, Facts and Trivia. Is that better? Appreciate you being here. I ask you to please subscribe. Please share these on Facebook. And about the contest, we'll be telling you more about that later in the video. So, today's video is on subtle name changes on the Andy Griffith Show. Names that Andy subtly changed. Let's get into it. We'll start off with one that most people know. Perhaps the most famous character whose name noticeably changes is Floyd the Barber. Most folks remember Howard McNear as Floyd Lawson, the last name given to the character once McNear took over the character after Walter Baldwin portrayed him as simply Floyd the Barber. But in McNear's first Hollywood appearance, his first appearance in Mayberry Goes Hollywood, is randomly called Floyd Colby. After that, he was called Floyd Lawson every time. Dean, Doug, and Mitch Darling. The Dillards famously portrayed the Darlings on the Andy Griffith Show, and for the most part, the band members used their own first names as their character names. Rodney Dillard was Rodney Darling, Doug was Doug Darling, Dean was Dean Darling, and Mitch was Mitch Darling. But in the band's first appearance, and The Darlings Are Coming, Doug was called, sorry, I had to do something real quick. Doug was called Jevin Darling, and Dean was called Other Darling, while Mitch was called Brother Darling and Mitch Brother before he became known as Mitch Darling. And another famous one, Clara Edwards, a gossip and one of Aunt Bee's bestest. Clara is actually first introduced as Bertha Edwards in Opie and Andy the Housekeepers. Then in Barney's replacement, she became Clara Johnson, which stuck for a while, until the church organ episode. That's when she became Clara Edwards, the name she'd taken for the rest of the series. Bobby Fleet and his Band with the Beat was a great ring to it, which is probably why the character was featured in 3 episodes. However, in addition to changing the actor, playing Bobby Fleet from Henry Slate in The Guitar Player to Herb Ellis in The Guitar Player Returns to Joseph Sorolla in the Mayberry Band, they also called the character Freddie Fleet in his last appearance. Johnny Paul Jason. Everybody loves seeing Richard Keith, played Little Ricky on I Love Lucy, suddenly appear in Mayberry as one of Opie's best friends, Johnny Paul Jason. A few probably remember that the first time Keith appeared on the episode, One Punch Opie, he was called Carter French when Andy lectured the boys. The rest of this time on the show, though, he'd go by Johnny Paul Jason. Howie Pruitt. Another one of Opie's pals was Howie Pruitt, a good kid who occasionally gave Helen Crump a hard time. All across his appearances, he's known as Howie Pruitt, except for his second-to-last guest spot for Barney Fife Realtor. Howie's dad is referred to Mr. Williams, making him Howie Williams. Sharon Porter. Apart from Opie's crush on Helen, the boy's love for a girl named Sharon Porter is one of the boys' biggest romances. She shows up in 4 episodes. Now, in the first 2, Opie loves Helen, and The Education of Ernest T. Bass, she's called Sharon McCall. Later in Opie's Job and Look, Paul, I'm Dancing, the girl is named Sharon Porter. Emma Brand. Emma Brand was a reputation in Mayberry as a busybody and hypochondriac, but Barney Fife would tell you her biggest offense is her jaywalking. Although her character is billed as Emma Brand in every appearance but one, Barney keeps a file on Emma's pedestrian foul play called the Emma Watson case. And in the actor's final appearance in The Manicurist, she is also Emma Watson. A Sabrini. Mayberry's got a jack of all trades in A Sabrini. He does several odd jobs through the series run, portrayed by Charles Thompson, The character is called Sabrini in 4 or 5 episodes, but in the second to the last episode as the character, the same actor would later appear as Doc Roberts. He was called by a different last name in Barney's Physical. Thompson is credited as Asa Bascom. And the Reverend. Heading Mayberry's church is the Reverend, known as Reverend Hobart M. Tucker. In the first 3 episodes he's in. Then randomly the Reverend's name switched to in Opie's newspaper ad and the church organ to Reverend Martin. I just think that they didn't really pay close attention to the history of the show. They didn't think it was going to last that long, and they didn't figure what's the purpose. But it makes, for me anyway, it makes it all out even more interesting. Gave me a video to make. So, if you want to enter to win the book, the Andy Griffith Book Show, I'm really on it today. It's really early in the morning, folks. Andy Griffith Show book. Got to subscribe. You got to give us a thumbs up over here, a like. And you don't have to, but please share these out on if you got Facebook. And out of all of the smaller characters that are regulars on the show, like Clara, I'll even put in Juanita and Sarah, just any of them that are regulars, but you don't see them a lot. Who is your favorite? That's it. I appreciate you being here. Subscribers have gone up considerably, so thank you very much for that. And viewership's gone up considerably. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I'll try to be more entertaining. And I'll back off so you can't count my nose hairs. Anyway, thanks for being here. Have a great day. God bless. And I'll be praying for you.